Hello everyone, this is Ms. Smith, and the purpose of this video is for us to briefly discuss proposals. Now, in order to be able to discuss proposals, we need to understand short reports because a proposal is a type of short report. So this is coming from Chapter 8, and the PowerPoint that you'll see in this video is an abbreviation of the link to the PowerPoint that you have under your Week 8 class. Okay, so the link that you have will contain many more slides than this video will contain. But again, I just really want to focus on proposals in this video, okay, and understanding short reports. And so go back and look at the link PowerPoint so that you can see all of the rest of the information, but definitely make sure that you look at Chapter 8 so that you can get a better understanding of short reports and of proposals. So what is a short report? A short report is an informal type of report that is often conducted in the workplace, and it is an organized presentation of relevant data on any topic. And so a short report may indicate that work is being completed, that schedules are being met, that costs have been contained, that sales projections are being met, and that unexpected problems have been solved. So those are some examples of how short reports can be used. Now, of course, if there's such a thing as a short report, then there's such a thing as a long report. And so short reports tend to be those types of reports in the workplace that we can turn around a little bit faster. It won't take as many days to complete it. Sometimes they're completed within a day. Short reports usually don't take as much effort. You usually don't have to involve a whole lot of research. You don't have to use a whole lot of resources with the short report. With a long report, those can be multiple pages long, and they usually take way more time. They're more exhaustive because you have to put a whole lot more work and effort into the long report. So that's just the basic difference between the two. Now, there are many types of short reports. 5 of them are mentioned here. One example would be a periodic report. And so let's say that you're in the workplace and you have to travel. And periodically, you have to provide your mileage information so that you can be reimbursed for it. And so that would be an example of a periodic report. You might be given a mileage form that you have to complete every quarter, let's say, and periodically you complete that report, you submit that report, and then hopefully you're reimbursed for your mileage, right? So that would be an example of a short report that's a periodic report. Sales reports provide businesses with financial and managerial information, right? So just kind of how sales numbers are looking. These are very common in the workplace. Progress reports, whoops, I didn't mean to switch. Progress reports inform readers about the status of ongoing projects. And so let's say you've been given a task in the workplace, and let's say that task is going to last a full year, and your supervisor wants you to give updates on how the project is going. You would create a progress report to give an update on how that project is going. Okay. Travel reports, we were kind of mentioning that with periodic reports. Travel reports can also include the ways that you would document business trips. So not just mileage necessarily, but just all types of travel that you might have to do as a result of your job could be included in a travel report. And with incident reports, this is typical if you're in criminal justice or if you're pursuing a career in a field like criminal justice or child care, where you may have to document when an incident occurs, okay? But it's an outline of unexpected events that interfere or threaten normal safe business operations. So these are just 5 of the types of short reports that could exist. And so there's some guidelines for writing short reports. And so you want to make sure that you anticipate how the audience will use your report. So we've been talking throughout the semester about the importance of understanding your audience, because when you understand your audience, you understand how to communicate to your audience. And so consider how much your audience knows about your project and what types of information they most need. Remember, you're always writing for the reader and not for yourself. Number 2, do the necessary research. Again, with a short report as opposed to a long report, you probably won't have a whole lot of research. But in the case of a short report, you may have to collect your receipts for that travel report, or that periodic report, or you may have to gather your notes, or your records for that progress report. There may be some light research that's necessary, but it's usually not something that you can complete on a rather quick basis. Okay. And so make sure that you have all of the information that you need to make that report effective. And number three, be objective and ethical, right? Avoid guesswork. Now remember, we want to make sure that we provide accurate information. Um, no one wants you to guess in this line of work or in technical communication. They want facts, they want figures, they want concrete information. So don't substitute impressions or unsupported personal opinions for careful research, right? Avoid bias, incomplete data, and double check all facts and figures and specifications. So there's some more guidelines discussed here. Of course, you want to organize your information carefully. You want to use good page design, use reader-centered headings and bullets and numberings and visuals, and help readers locate and focus on key information in your report. You want to write clearly and concisely, and use an informative title and subject that gets to the point right away, writing in plain English, and adopting a professional yet personal tone. Okay? And you want to use appropriate format and visuals. We've already talked about visuals a little bit last week, but remember, visuals will attract readers' attention, and they can condense a lot of information in a really easy way, and it will help the audience to digest that information quickly. And so when it's necessary, when it's helpful, be sure to use visuals and to format them properly. And so now that we understand a little bit about short reports, let's look specifically at proposals. A proposal is a detailed plan of action that a writer submits to a reader or a group of readers for approval. And so proposals can vary in size and in scope. They could be short or they could be really, really long. Now we are talking about short reports, but just by the nature of a proposal in and of itself, a proposal can be a short report or a long report. It's also important to note that proposals are persuasive plans. They're persuasive in nature. So what does that mean? That means that when you're writing a proposal, you're trying to get someone to say yes to whatever it is you're requesting. You're trying to get agreement. You're trying to persuade them to agree with you. So for example, let's just take a really simple example. Let's say you were proposing marriage to someone. What would you want to come of that? Hopefully, you would want that individual to say yes, right? You would want them to agree to spend their life with you. When you write a proposal in the workplace, you're trying to get that agreement. If you feel like your department needs an increase in its budget so that you can maybe purchase some equipment that would make your jobs more productive, you could write a proposal for that. And you could submit that proposal, and you want to make sure that you're being persuasive and that you're showing that if we had this increase, we could purchase this equipment, and this is how it would affect us and affect our productivity and how it would benefit the entire company. So it's really, really important to realize that proposals are persuasive in nature. Okay? And they're frequently collaborative efforts in the workplace. So depending on the scope of the proposal that you might be doing, um, it could involve several people at your job to actually produce a solid winning proposal. And so if we think about some guidelines for writing successful proposals, you want to approach writing a proposal as a problem-solving activity. The problem is that there's something that you need, which is why you're writing the proposal in the first place, right? You want to make sure that you get agreement for whatever it is that you're asking for. It's also important to regard your audience as being skeptical. Okay, now they may not be skeptical. You may have a great track record and may be more than willing to give you what you're asking for. But you need to regard your audience as skeptical. And that means that you need to consider the fact that they may not be willing to do what it is you want them to do. You may have to overcome that communication barrier in order to get the agreement that you want. So you may have to try to think a little bit ahead of some of the reasons that they might say no and try to um, ease their concerns as a part of your proposal. You want to research your proposal topic thoroughly and scout out what your competitors are doing. And the competitors can be in another company or it could be in your own company but in a different department. Again, if you're seeking that budget increase for your department, there could be several other departments seeking a budget increase and you want to make yours stand out. And so try to get a sense of what the competitors are doing. Prove that your proposal is workable. That it's something that is doable, that it's realistic, and make sure that it is financially realistic. Proposals usually involve money. Usually it does. And so you never want to reach too far if it's out of the realm of possibility. You want to make sure that your proposal is financially realistic. Be ethical at all times. Your numbers are persuasive. And so you never want to mislead with numbers or with words. You want to be ethical as a trained technical communicator. And package your proposal attractively. Remember, the look of your document speaks volumes. Okay? And so those are just some of the things I wanted to point out to you regarding proposals and short reports. And hopefully this has been helpful. Now again, this week you're writing a proposal memo. And that proposal memo will allow you to try to sell someone on an idea. So in your assignment overview, you'll get more information about what it is you have to do with that assignment. But as always, if you have questions, please let me know. Thanks so much.